And now, the mythology of basil. Now there are a wide variety of myths about basil across the whole Eastern Hemisphere. Now, most people connect it with a little bit of good luck, protection, and some other happy perky things. Some people see it as a way to attract some of that other green into their life, you know what I'm saying? Green. This means money. But those pesky ancient Greeks saw it as a symbol of hatred. While in Crete, they went so far as to say that it was the emblem of the devil. In Jewish folklore, they said that basil adds strength while fasting. The Victorians had to have it both ways. They thought that common basil signified hatred, while sweet basil meant that you're giving someone your best wishes. Aww. Now in Portugal, a little dwarf basil plant given together with a poem was considered mighty good luck when you're trying to court your sweetie. Or when you're trying to butter up St. John or St. Anthony. So, get out that basil to avoid those evil spirits, attract a mate, and earn a little money. But you better make sure that it's the right kind of basil, because otherwise you're just kind of being a hateful little twit. Yeah, at least according to the Victorians and the Greeks. Gosh, this herb gets around. Speaking of getting around, thank you. In matters of love, many countries use basil as an aphrodisiac. So come on over to my boudoir, baby, and bring the basil. Oh yeah. In pagan love spells, it was used to attract husbands and wives. Or both. Whatever your preference. I don't judge. Now the Moldavians took this a step further by saying that if a man accepted a sprig of basil from a woman, he would fall in love with her. So, who out there has a little bit of basil on their windowsill right now? Be honest. Now the really crazy legends begin with the origins of its botanical name, ocimum basilicum. Now according to the mythology, this Latin root actually came from King Osimus, who, it just so happens, was slain by a gladiator. Ew. And a bed of basil grew out of the spot where he fell. Yeah, I can buy that. Little bloody fertilizer goes a long way. And that brings us to my favorite myth. Basil was long thought to be an antidote to basilisk venom. Basilisk venom? Basilisk venom? Basilisk venom? Basilisk venom? Basilisk venom. That's right, Harry Potter. No need to worry about Fox's tears. You should have just grabbed a few leaves from the King of Herbs when heading into the Chamber of Secrets. Or at least, eating a basil and chicken sandwich when going down into the chamber. Just saying, it would have helped. Now, unlike the fully serpentine creature in the Chamber of Secrets, the basilisk of ancient lore actually looked more like this, with the head of a rooster, the body of a serpent, and the wings of a bat. I guess they thought that was a little too freaky for the children. The Romans and Greeks both thought that basil was a cure for the basilisk's bite, which would definitely kill you. Being super deadly, the basilisk could also kill you with a good staring contest. Though, as our hero Harry Potter proved, an indirect stare or a reflection would just mean getting petrified. Now, the basilisk's withering breath was also believed to kill plants and animals. And other ancient lore actually says that the basilisk could breathe fire. Pretty darn cool if you ask me. And basil, you get some major King Kong-sized cool points too, because people believed that basil could cure everything the basilisk could throw at you. Except the fire. But wait, that's not the end of the myths. There's scorpions. Here I am! Rock you like a hurricane! Shout out to the 80s rock gods. It was thought that if left under a pot for a while, basil would turn into a scorpion. There was also a Flemish doctor who said that if left crushed in between bricks, basil would turn into another scorpion. You think maybe somebody just dropped some basil on the floor and a poor scorpion was walking by at the same time and they happened to see it and went, Gadzooks! That basil just turned into a scorpion! French physician Hilarius, I'm not joking, that's his name, Hilarius, is actually quoted as saying that just by smelling basil, you could breed a scorpion in your brain. And it was generally believed that you had to handle basil very gently in order to avoid breeding more of those pesky scorpions. On the flip side, Africans actually believed that basil could protect you against scorpions. Guessing it probably has something to do with the breed of scorpions they have in Africa. Yeah. I guess so. Look at that guy. And if all this isn't crazy enough for you, it was said that basil was good for the striking of a sea dragon. How? I would assume like on the end of a spear or something, because, you know, basil is just not that good for thrusting. Oh, maybe just a good light smack on the side of the cheek. Oh! And that is it for basil mythology. My question for today is, did you actually know about any of the basilisk and scorpion related mythology? Also, are there any other herbs you would like to see me cover this way? Please say so in the comments section down below. And thanks again for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to click the like button and share it with your friends. Also, you can click on the links below in the description if you want to find out more about basil mythology. Until next time, be nice to each other and your animals.